You guys coming. Just seems like we finished the season not too long ago. Spring ball came really fast, so appreciate you guys coming to cover us here this spring, and hopefully see some good things. Right now, day one is in the books. Day one was really a great test to find out where we're at and what we need to do to move forward with certain players, certain units to improve. I feel that we've had a great offseason. We're off to a great start here in 2019 for a number of reasons. It really starts with the core group of players that we have back from last year. We have a lot of players that have been in the program now for 2 or 3 years, and we've got pretty good leadership, and I think because of that, they've set some really high standards for each other. They're holding each other accountable. The chemistry and unity of our football team is outstanding right now, and really enjoy being around them. The other part is we've got some new coaches, as you guys know, 4 new coaches, and I think just the new face, the new voice, the new eyes has really made a difference. It's been fun to watch our players really gravitate and buy into those new coaches and their vision for their unit, and I think the relationship is off to a great start so far with those guys. We also have some new players. We brought in 10 or 11 new players in January. You know, when you mix that with the guys that have been in the program, some new coaches, some new players, the enthusiasm and energy is outstanding, and that showed today for day one. Couple things just about injuries. We got 3 players that are not going to participate in spring practice because of injuries. Travis Vokalak is one of them. Julius Turner is another. Hunter Hayek is another. They'll be fine long term, but you know, going to miss spring ball due to some injuries that they've had. But other than that, guys, I'll go ahead and open up for any questions that you may have.
The quarterback position, part one, is it open as far as the competition goes? And 2, Jonathan Lewis, where is he fitting? Because I think he was wearing red today.
Yeah, the quarterback position is like all other positions. They're all open. You know, when you go back, and I hate to go back, you know, you go 1-11, nobody played well enough. There are guys that we think are, you know, in position to be the front runners for positions, but everybody has to improve. You know, we think that we've recruited, you know, some players to come in and add competition at each position, and you know, there's no depth chart decisions being made today.
What about Jonathan Lewis?
Jonathan Lewis has kind of been back and forth between quarterback and tight end. He has kind of settled on wanting to play tight end, and that's where he was at today, and that's where he will be for the rest of spring.
As far as the other quarterbacks, how do you see that playing out? I mean, with Cole just coming in, what's kind of your vision for that position?
Well, they're all going to get reps, and you know, at the end of the day, that position has to get better, and it's no secret if we're going to have success, it's going to start with that position. And you know, Art was a freshman last year. We brought in some other guys, you know, to bolster the position, and we'll evaluate it at the end of spring to see where we're at. But they're all going to get an opportunity to go out and lead and try to increase the production, make good decisions, and make just everybody on offense better around them, and that's really what we need to see.
With Langen and Singleton and Alamo, when do you expect to hear about the waivers?
I don't know. I can't answer that. I don't know.
Is it tough to prepare, you know, not knowing?
No, I mean, right now you just operate preparing for the worst if they're not eligible, and you got to get them better. You got to get them acclimated to what you're doing and give them an opportunity to develop and figure things out. But until the NCAA says one way or the other, you know, you got to operate like they're not going to be here and have a plan for that.
Last time we spoke, I believe you reintroduced Henry Baker as the cornerbacks coach. Yeah. Obviously, he left for the NFL gig. How tough is that to replace a coach that quickly?
Well, you've always got a list, you know, and been in this profession for a long time, and transition is part of football. It just is at all levels. You look at the turnover in college football everywhere, and in the NFL, you just have to be prepared for it. And I look at it as, you know, you hire good people. Guess what? They do a good job, and they have a reputation. They have opportunities, and you better have a list of other good people that you can bring in the program. And brought in Jay Valai to be our new corners coach, and I coached Jay years ago at the University of Wisconsin. Jay's really done a great job in a short time that he's been coaching. He's been in Georgia for a couple of years, been with the Chiefs here most recently. I think he's a rising star, and really excited to have him.
There's always pressure, but you know, how much pressure do you kind of put on the spring camp as far as getting this program turned around?
Yeah, there's, I mean, every day our job is to go out and get better. That's it. I mean, I don't worry about anything else. We don't talk about anything else. We talk about creating an environment that we can coach and teach and go out and practice to make our guys as good as they can be. That's all I can control.
The linebacker position, getting back to like Singleton, he's going to be the will, and you see Fogg in the middle?
We have Singleton taking reps at will linebacker right now. We have a lot of players at linebacker. I think it's the strongest position on our football team right now, and hopefully it continues to stay that way, but we're going to have a lot of competition for those spots.
Did you see Tyshawn Moore in the middle this year? Or?
We have him repping Mike linebacker right now. At the end of the day, they are dual trained, and we will play the best 2 or 3 guys regardless of where they're at right now today. But they are all going to get dual trained so they can learn both positions. So we got some position versatility with guys. I think that's really important. We're going to have more depth than what we've had in the past there. I think that'll make us all better.
Damon Age going to move back to corner?
Damon is at corner right now. That's a conversation that he and I had at the end of the season. It's a decision that he felt was in the best interest for his future, and we're going to give him an opportunity, but he's always going to be prepared, just like he was last year, to move into safety if we needed him to. But right now, we think he has a chance to be an outstanding corner for us.
Regarding the wide receiver position, you guys added Montario Hunt this offseason. What has he brought to the program so far?
You know, a lot of energy. The guy's he loves football. He really works hard at developing his skill set and developing his craft. So I think he's brought in a level of maturity because he's a little bit older. He's not a freshman. He's brought in a tremendous work ethic in that room, and he's going to create a lot of competition. And
then you guys added another JUCO and Amari Cooper. What do you think of him?
You know, it's only day 1, but I like his athletic ability. Got to watch film to see how he did today, but he's pretty serious about football. He's a good student. He works extremely hard. He listens well, and you know, we hope to see him develop and really improve here through the spring practice session, and we're hoping that he can create some real competition at those tackle positions.
You made it a point to bring recruits to basketball games, I think, midweek. I noticed they were at the game the other night, a couple other games. Is there a theme to this? You know, is there, I mean, obviously the basketball program's getting it turned around a little bit. There's tremendous support, good atmosphere. Is that part of the whole reasoning that you're trying to, you know, make sure maybe, you know, you see a program that's having some success and try to, you know, put your recruits to it?
Well, there's a lot of things that go into it. All of those things you just mentioned are absolutely accurate. You know, when you bring recruits on campus, you want to try to have a very diverse plan so you can show them a lot of different aspects, not just your locker room and your weight room and, you know, what you're going to do football-wise, but you want to show them the campus. You want to get them exposed to other events on campus. You want to get them exposed to the fan base and the energy around that, and show them that people are really excited about what's going on here. And you know, it's worked out this spring for us to be able to get to basketball games. It's not necessarily any different approach. We've always wanted to be able to do that, but it just hasn't worked out in our schedule that there's been a home game on a time that we're going to bring recruits in, or it worked for them to come on that particular night. But it's worked out this year. It's been really a positive experience because it's been a great environment in the RAC. I really appreciate you know, the job that both Coach Peichel and Coach Stringer have done with their basketball teams this year. They've had really good seasons, and obviously it's generated a lot of excitement, and anytime we can be around it, it's great for everybody.
Take 2 more questions.
Micah Clark moved over to the defense, so what have you seen on him so far, and what went into that decision also?
You know, again, that decision was something that we started at the end of last season. We moved him over for the Michigan State week at the end of last year. He showed some really good promise. And then when the season was over, I didn't know what direction that we would go with him. He came and had a conversation with me and had the desire to stay on the defensive side of the ball. That's where he's at right now. I couldn't tell you if that's where he'll stay long term, but that's where he's at right now. I see him providing a lot of value to us over on the D-line. He's big, he's strong, he's athletic. He's got a lot to learn to catch up with the other guys, but he's going to create some competition and give us some size in there. And I like what I saw out of him today. I liked what I've seen out of him so far this offseason with the workouts. But he's got a long way to go, as do a lot of other players. But I'm excited about the move. I'm anxious to see if it's something that can stick for him.
Final question?
For this offense to really take another step or next step, you need more out of the passing attack. What's a realistic expectation for Sikowski this spring camp? And you know, can he, you know, win the job this spring?
Absolutely he can, and we won't name a starter, here in the spring, but absolutely he can put his mark on that position, by the way he performs this spring. But like we've talked a lot, a run offense and a pass offense. It's a true 11-man operation. It's a team offense, and we've got to have all 11 doing their job to be successful in the run game and in the pass game. And Art's got to play better. I mentioned it earlier. If we're going to have a chance to be successful as a football program, we have to have consistent quarterback play. But to get that, we have to have consistent O-line play. Now we've got to have consistent wide receiver and tight end play, and all those pieces have to work together. And if they do, then Art in turn will be able to improve quite a bit and develop, and the other quarterbacks will too. But if one of those pieces is missing, it's going to hurt his development and that whole position's development. So we're really working hard on trying to make sure that all 11 work together. It's not about one player. It's not about just a receiver. It's not just about the left tackle. It's not just about the quarterback. It's about all 11 working together in unison to get our ability to throw and catch better by running better routes, working on the timing, working on the protection, and doing it consistently.